Coterminal angles are angles in standard position that have the same initial side and terminal side, but are different measures. If you recall, in class, we looked at two angles. One was 90 degrees and the other was negative 270 degrees. And my 90-degree angle has an initial side on the positive x-axis and a terminal side on the positive y-axis. This represented my 90-degree angle. I was also asked to draw a negative 270-degree angle, and it had an initial side on the positive x-axis and a terminal side on the positive y-axis, but it was negative 270 degrees. This is an example of coterminal angles. There are two angles that have the same initial side and same terminal side, but they're different measures. Okay, we're going to be finding and graphing coterminal angles. Okay, now if we have an angle in degrees, to find a coterminal angle, we would add or subtract 360 degrees. If we had an angle in radians, to find coterminal angles, we would add or subtract 2 pi to find those coterminal angles. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn the page and let's try a couple of problems. So in example 3, it says identify and draw one positive and one negative angle coterminal with the given angle. Okay, in letter A, we have an angle 80 degrees. First thing I'm going to do is graph this angle 80 degrees. Okay, in standard position, the vertex is at the origin and the initial side is on the positive x-axis. Now I know the positive y-axis is 90 degrees, so 80 degrees is going to be just a little bit to the right of that. Okay, here's my angle 80 degrees. Now, to find a positive coterminal angle, I am going to take my given angle, 80 degrees, and I'm going to add 360 degrees to this. 360 degrees is a full circle. So if I'm up here at 80 degrees and I swing a full circle, I'm going to get back to where I started so that it has the same terminal side. Now, 80 degrees plus 360 degrees is 440 degrees. Now, to graph a 440 degree angle, I'm going to start on the initial side, and I'm going to make one full rotation, that's 360 degrees, and I'm going to continue going to the terminal side, and 360 degrees plus 80 degrees is my 440 degree angle. So again, same initial side, same terminal side. I'm just making a full rotation around the circle before I get back to my terminal side. Now, to find a negative coterminal angle, I take my angle 80 degrees and I subtract 360 degrees. So if I take 80 and subtract 360 degrees, I get negative 280 degrees. Now, a negative angle moves clockwise. So from my initial side, I would move clockwise negative 280 degrees to get to the terminal side. So remember, from my initial side to the positive x-axis is 270 degrees. 270 plus 10 is negative 280. So this angle is negative 280 degrees. So I have three angles, 80 degrees, 440 degrees, and negative 280 degrees that are coterminal angles because all three of those angles have the same initial side and same terminal side. Now, letter B is negative pi over 4. So the first thing I need to do is sketch the angle. Okay, in standard position, vertex is at the origin, and the initial side is on the positive x-axis. Okay. Now, this is negative, so I'm going to be moving clockwise. Okay, so at negative 180 degrees, this is negative pi, but to have denominator 4, this is negative 4 pi over 4. Okay, which means I'm dividing the bottom half of the coordinate plane into 4 equal parts. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. So this is negative 3 pi over 4, negative 2 pi over 4, negative pi over 4, and 0. Okay. Okay, so my terminal side moves clockwise down to negative pi over 4. And I need to draw an arrow from the initial side to the terminal side. And this is negative pi over 4. Okay. Okay, to find a positive coterminal angle, I need to add 2 pi, which is equivalent to 360 degrees, but in radians. So we have negative pi over 4 plus 2 pi. Now, when we add fractions, we have to have a common denominator. I'm going to go ahead and erase this negative 4 pi over 4 to give me some space. Okay, so if I put this over 1, my common denominator is going to be 4. So this is negative pi over 4. Okay, 2 pi times 4 is 8 pi. 1 times 4 is 4. So 8 pi divided by 4 is equivalent to 2 pi. So negative pi over 4 plus 8 pi over 4 is 7 pi over 4. Okay, now this is positive. So from my initial side, I'm going to go counterclockwise to the terminal side. And this is my angle 7 pi over 4. Now, to find a negative coterminal angle, I subtract 2 pi. So I take negative pi over 4 minus 2 pi, but I know 2 pi is 8 pi over 4. So negative pi over 4 minus 8 pi over 4 is negative 9 pi over 4. Now, to sketch this angle, I start on the initial side. Okay, I'm going to make 1 full revolution all the way around. This is negative 8 pi over 4. Go my additional negative pi over 4. And that would make this coterminal angle negative 9 pi over 4. So my coterminal angles are just angles that rotate more than one time around the unit circle. So we may have to go around the coordinate plane 2 times or 3 times before I get to my terminal side to get to some coterminal angles. I'm going to have you try letter C and D, so pause the video, try the problems, and then hit play and you can see the solution worked out. Okay, letter C is negative 30 degrees. Okay, to plot this angle, I'm going to put my vertex on the initial side, on the origin, vertex on the origin, initial side on the positive x-axis. I'm going negative 30 degrees, so I move clockwise 30 degrees, and I have an angle in quadrant 4. So draw my arrow, this is negative 30 degrees. Okay. Now, to find a positive coterminal angle, I'm going to take negative 30 degrees plus 360 degrees. Negative 30 plus 360 is 330 degrees. Notice that is not a full circle. So from the initial side, I'm going to go counterclockwise to the terminal side, and this is 30 degrees. To find a negative coterminal angle, I'm going to subtract 360 degrees. So negative 30 degrees minus 360 degrees is negative 390 degrees. Okay, so from my initial side, I'm going to go 1 full rotation clockwise, you get negative 360, continue down to get negative 390 degrees. Okay, letter D, I have an angle 3 pi over 4. Okay, vertex is at the origin, initial side is on the positive x-axis. Okay, I know that pi is 4 pi over 4. Okay. So this would be 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, and 4 pi over 4. So 3 pi over 4 is going to fall halfway between quadrant 2. So my angle goes from the initial side to the terminal side, 3 pi over 4. To find a coterminal angle, I'm going to add 2 pi. So I have 3 pi over 4. Now 2 pi is 8 pi over 4. This is equal to 11 pi over 4. Okay. So what I will do is start at the initial side. This is positive. So I'm going to go 1 full rotation. That's 2 pi or 8 pi over 4. And then 8 pi over 4 plus 3 pi over 4 is 11 pi over 4. To find a negative coterminal angle, I'm going to subtract 2 pi. I take 3 pi divided by 4, minus 2 pi, which is 8 pi over 4. Then this is equal to negative 5 pi over 4. Because the angle is negative, when I start from the initial side, I'm going to move clockwise to the terminal side, and this represents negative 5 pi over 4.